Professional football in America is a special game, a unique game. Played nowhere else on earth, it is a rare game. The men who play it make it so.
The guy's the greatest of all time, man.
He's the Michael Jordan of football.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah, Brady's the best ever, hands down.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Is Brady the best?
Tom Brady launches a 60-yard bomb.
As long as Tom Brady's here, he got that #1 spot.
Many of them, and I would agree, regard him as the best of his generation.
100%.
What Tom Brady brings to the table is greatness.
Tom Brady, where does he stand for you?
The best.
The GOAT. Tom Brady has my vote for the greatest to ever lace him up.
Best ever, best in the game.
Best quarterback to have ever played the game is Tom Brady, in my opinion, without a doubt.
Just based on what he's been able to accomplish over the course of his career.
Tom has been an elite quarterback in this game for so long.
You can play that good, that consistently great, year after year after year after year, game after game after game after game. I mean, nobody's ever done it. Nobody's ever done it like Tom Brady.
By any metric, Tom Brady's legacy is cemented. His greatness, unquestioned.
Success that Tom has had in his career, I think it would be hard to argue that he's not the greatest quarterback to play this game.
His goal is to make everybody forget about any quarterback who existed before him.
There's no question for me that he's the GOAT.
I hate to say it, I'm a Peyton Manning fan, but I'm a realist, and Tom Brady is the guy.
Ultimate pro. A pro knows when he's going to study, when he's going to go to sleep, when he's going to throw in the offseason.
White 20!
Here we go, buddy. Let's see what we got here.
White 28!
He mastered the game. This man has seen every coverage. He's seen every type of game plan you can come up against him with. You might as well stop wasting your time.
So knowledgeable of the game. He knows every situation that he's in. On top of it, he can throw the ball wherever he wants.
Tom Brady reads defenses better than any quarterback I know right now.
Hell of a player.
The play fakes to White, stands in the end zone. He looks down the middle. Caught in the back of the end zone by Danny Amendola!
He's a great competitor.
He's the fiercest competitor I've ever been around.
Brady fires it to the right, down the right sideline, and caught at the 20-15, 10 touchdown. Touchdown Patriots! Let's go!
The ability to will your team to win versus the best opponent the NFC has to offer. And time again...
It sounds like this is about to happen. You can just feel it.
They have completed the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history, led by the greatest quarterback.
Tom Brady's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is Tom Brady.
Greatest quarterback in the world, man.
Just something in your stomach just told you that it wasn't over. It was never over just because you got that guy right there.
The mental dynamics of the quarterback play and then being able to literally will another team to make mistakes, that's what's powerful to me. And we've seen Brady do it time and time again.
He doesn't give a shit.
Describe Tom Brady in one word. GOAT. GOAT.
GOAT. He's the GOAT. No question about it.
They came back and won the game. They came back and won the game.
Patriots and Tom Brady.
There is one conversation that no longer should be had, will be had, plain and simple. What I saw with my own two eyes last night was the minting of a GOAT. GOAT. End of story. Most rings, largest comeback, the most prolific passing performance, 466 yards in a Super Bowl. You've got to be kidding me.
Best ever.
That's why I'm telling Tommy's got to keep going. He's just got to, he can't stop.
Hey, it's great to meet you, man. I'm like your #1 fan. Yeah, I'm Matt. I'm Matt Damon.
If we can protect him and give him some weapons out there, he can go for a long, long time.
The man is at it again.
Tom Brady is going to wind up as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Wrap your mind around that one.
What's going on? You didn't hear?
Tom Brady, known as the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Tampa Bay fans are now very happy he's a member of our team.
Get the fuck out of here.
Tom Brady signing with the Tampa Bay Bucks tomorrow. Holy.
Bing, 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 bing.
Woo. Chin, chin.
Tom Brady going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's going to be a tough team to stop, I think, at this point.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Can he bring a Super Bowl here? But I can practically guarantee you one is coming.
I am legend. Let's go! Woo!
Are you going to be a Tampa Bay Bucks fan this year?
Oh, absolutely.
Go Bucks on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Half-ass.
You worked hard.
Little half-ass.
Absolutely, I am.
Good. Nice. Okay.
Can't stop that. Can't stop that route.
Go.
You think you're an up-and-coming superstar? You haven't even stepped in the ring yet with this monster. Beast Cold Gronk.
Oh my God.
Nobody grinds like this guy, working himself back into shape after a year off, starting to look like his old dominating self.
Make him get it.
I need somebody to deal with Gronk. The phone just keeps on ringing.
Yeah.
The phone just keeps on ringing. Ain't no answer for Gronk. It is no answer for Gronk.
Bring it on. It comes with the big dogs, baby. Woo!
I'm obsessed with extreme winners.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a madness to it. And I truly believe that in order to be truly great at something, you have to give in to a certain amount of madness. And how much can you manage that madness? I don't know.
I think everyone with Tampa Bay getting Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski expected immediate success. And truth be told, it wasn't like that. It was a little rocky to start, right? And they don't play very well in week one. But now gradually things have come together. But it has taken some time.
How many games did Jameis Winston win last year? 7. He did it
before the team was as good as it is right now.
He threw 30 interceptions.
30 interceptions. He won. So let me ask you something. If a quarterback came in,
those receivers were still good last year.
Right. So if a quarterback came in last year and threw 15 interceptions, let's say Jameis would have thrown 15 interceptions, they probably would have won around 9 games, something like that. If they got better this year and you put an average quarterback in, they'd be on pace to win 9 or 10
we heard
games.
You. Now it's
if
my
Brady
turn.
wins 11 or 12,
now it's
he's
my
done
turn.
that a game or two better than someone else.
You're lying. No. You're lying. Here's what you did. You didn't sit up there and say, just because of Brady's age. You said, here's what I'm seeing.
Well, that's true.
He doesn't have the velocity. He doesn't have the accuracy. It's not just about the weapons, Stephen A. It's about the fact that he can't do it anymore. And it's not just age. I have these two Beetlejuice eyes. I know what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing, Stephen A. That's what you said. This is not about, hold on. No, I heard you. You did not say,
yeah, you did.
Just because he's 43 and no one has done it. I'm not saying you didn't mention it. You did mention it. But you didn't limit it to that. You said, look at him. What's wrong with y'all? He can't throw the football the same. He's not the same. He's missing
Brady was missing receivers every way you could last year. And
they weren't open.
And that was year-over-year decline for him. I'm not making
dude
it
just
up.
threw for 500 yards at 3 Super Bowls ago.
That's right. That was the last time.
He went to 3 straight Super Bowls.
I don't know how
that
you
was the last
that,
time he was great, was in that Super Bowl. And then the following 2 seasons, he was a good game manager, big on third down, with a great defense. That was it. Now, he's that same guy with great offensive weapons.
I might be wrong. Just my memory. Max Kellerman started on July 25th, 2016. Yeah. You said he was.
I said he was a jag in 18 months.
Just another quarterback, right?
In short order,
right?
and then
that's right.
A jag.
So what happened is that the man went to 1, 2,
3 Super Bowls.
3 consecutive Super Bowls, and you sat up there and said, "What are you guys watching?" I'm telling you, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it.
He said it's Belichick's system, and now he's not in Belichick's system, and now he's still getting the
because Brady has set
jag.
this up in a way to give you this evidence. He chose a team. He was smart, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He chose a team with an embarrassment of riches on offense and the defense and coaching. And not only that, but he left Belichick with no continuity.
Since you want to quote him accurately,
deliver it and do it.
No,
he still has to be able to push that ball down the field.
I'm not denying what Brady's doing.
Did Max Kellerman come on this air and say, even if Brady had the weapons, the velocity, the accuracy, what he used to be able to do, he cannot do anymore. Yes or no? Did he say that?
That's not the way I put it, and that's not what I meant. What I said was this.
Oh, Lord.
What I said was this.
Sounds like a lawyer.
Brady.
Come on.
Stephen A. got to yelling.
Okay, go.
Really?
We'll be quiet as mice.
That's the only way to stop you from lying.
Now.
What I remember you saying, though, from L.A., is that the man was going to fall off a cliff. That's all I remember.
It turns out he jumped up onto the cliff. The point is, the cliff was still...
I'm all the way in L.A. hearing it.
We got breaking news. news. I've never done this before on First Take in my career in First Take. I refuse to talk to this man about Brady again. I'm not discussing the subject. I don't give a damn what producer bring the subject up. I will not entertain this idiocy right here. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He's lying through his teeth. I mean, the tape is all there, and he's dancing. He's dancing around this subject better than politicians. I will not discuss this anymore. I will not entertain it. I will not waste my time. I'm going to sit here.
One question for you, though. When Tom Brady went to all these Super Bowls,
I'm not involved. Keyshawn.
He didn't have any superstar receivers.
None.
So how did he do it? Because Randy Moss was really his only huge big name, and they didn't even win a Super Bowl.
He never did. He was the GOAT. I said that. No.
I'm talking about these last 3 years after the clip. The last
the
3
best
Super
guy
Bowls he went
to. The two that he went to are included before the cliff. That's the 18 months. After that, he went to an additional Super Bowl, which he won.
A lot of particulars about that man that are so glaringly inconsistent with what he is chirping about right now. I'm not listening to it no more. The city of Boston, they pay attention. They care about this far more than me. They got all the tapes. They got all the tapes. Go to them.
I think for all of us, we're learning each other, and we're still learning each other. I think it's going to go that way throughout the entire season. I don't think we're going to get to a point like, oh, great, we got this all figured out.
Guess what?
When you're on a team with him and you see the work he puts in,
You see, he wakes up. We have meetings at 7:45. He's up at 5:30 every morning.
The best of all time.
Well, that was an ugly possession.
And when a player that is the best to ever play the game comes off on the sideline like that and sends that message, everybody listens.
And Brady thinks so too, and he's letting them know.
We're just going to keep trying to do it as best we can, put the work in every week, and see how it shakes out.
What happened when Rodgers met Brady head-to-head, eye-to-eye in Tampa? Aaron Rodgers folded like a lawn chair at a Tampa retirement community.
Okay.
That's what happened. He should have thrown 2 pick sixes in a row. It was just one, nearly a second one. And he should have had 4 interceptions that day. And once he threw the near 2 pick sixes, that was the end of him mentally and psychologically. He folded. He scored 0 points the last 3 quarters. I'm sorry, disqualified. You took a big step back.
This is what I thought was coming, and I told everybody that they had no weapons for the last 3 years, but they had the greatest player in the history of our game in Tom Brady. And for somebody, you see how great he is? He took this team to the playoffs and actually won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. So to me, it just shows also that the greatest player in the game has a hell of a lot bigger impact than the greatest coach in the game.
And however you want to slice it, Belichick sitting at 2-4. Brady looks like he's Super Bowl favorite at this moment. Out of the NFC, that's leadership.
You're pathetic. Let me tell you something. This is the thing that kills me. You talk about the leadership, but you're acting like, excuse me, 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, completing 65% of his passes, throwing for 369 yards yesterday, flat out balling, got them balling. Excuse me, it's not just about leadership. It's about his ability to throw the football, which you said he was done doing. You talked about his velocity. You said it lacked. You talked about his timing. You talked about his accuracy. You said he doesn't have it anymore. You said a cliff, then you corrected it by bringing up a ravine. I didn't even know what the hell a ravine was until you and Molly brought the damn thing up because you had me fixated on the cliff for all of those years. And now you're going to sit here with a straight
It is a ravine. He happens to be climbing up the ravine. I thought he was going down.
There we go. There we go. So first of all, you was late. Listen, you talk about Keyshawn. There are people that come late to parties.
Yes.
Okay. There are people that come late to a couple of parties.
Yeah.
And then there are people who are perpetually late. Yeah. And then they go like this, oops. Oh, really? That's what they do. Okay, that's what they do. Not that it really means it, then you're full of it. The fact of the matter is, Tom Brady, at age 43, he has weapons that he didn't have last year. Last year, we all said it. You came on the show. Dan Orlovsky came on the show. Ryan Clark came on the show. Swagoo came on the show. Damian Woody came on the show. Everybody said, yo, Matt, damn it. Molly said it. Molly said it. Everybody came on First Take and said, yo, man, who's he throwing the ball to? Julian Edelman ain't healthy, and he ain't what he used to be. N'Keal Harry ain't ready. You understand? They got some dude named Jacoby Myers, okay? Last time I heard about a Jacoby Myers, Keyshawn, it was a law firm, Jacoby and Myers, not Jacoby Myers. We told Max that. Did Max listen? No. When Brady went to 2 Super Bowls, or 3 straight Super Bowls, and won 2, Max would have listened to that. That's when he was willing to modify it from the cliff to the ravine. And now, as he sits here, and he's got all of these weapons, well, you know what? He has an embarrassment of riches, and he left the cupboard bare, and all of this other stuff. That's right. At the end of the day, let me ask you a question, Keyshawn. If Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Tom Brady connected on all nine targets to him yesterday, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Scott Miller, all of these boys. An
all-pro team.
All of these boys.
Ronald Jones and Fournette.
And Fournette had 6 receptions as well, so 47 yards. If Tom Brady couldn't throw the football, what would that amount to?
Nothing.
Thank you.
How many quarterbacks could you put with that team?
Thank you.
If you take, and I don't mean to get at Jameis like this, but if you took Jameis and you put him in that same position with these same weapons.
Yes. He got about 15 interceptions already.
Yeah,
he got about 15 interceptions already.
It'll be a little bit different. Tom Brady was not done, and I remember Max saying that, and I was like, the hell is Max talking about? He was so far from done in New England. They didn't necessarily surround him around a lot of great skill positions. players. Now he has the skill position players on top of Byron Leftwich and Coach B.A. calling plays for him. With his input, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing Tom Brady's insert from a little bit of the system from New England starting to come into its own in Tampa Bay. Plus, the defense is allowing him to get the ball back on short fields, and he has the ability to go the length of the field if he needs to.
Meanwhile, out in Las Vegas, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Tom Brady has officially entered the MVP race in the National Football League. Tom Brady, over his last 5 games, is now 15 touchdowns to 1 interception. Is that good? That's pretty great. And yesterday, all he did was throw 4 touchdown passes, again, to 4 different receivers. And yesterday, his 4th touchdown pass put him 1 ahead of Drew Brees. They're going to seesaw back and forth all year for the all-time touchdown pass lead.
Right.
So, once again, there are no turnovers. And once again, he's 7 of 12 on 3rd down, 5 of 6 in the red zone. They are starting to cook.
Brady and the Bucs exploded for 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns. So the Bucs win big, and Tom Brady showing up yesterday. Brandon, I'll start with you. Is it time for the Brady doubters to admit he's still one of the best? Because he certainly played like it yesterday.
So do you believe now?
Tom Brady was sensational yesterday.
You know
Not
what,
doubters,
Jenna?
doubter.
I don't care about the Brady doubters. I just care about Nick Wright. You find a way to blame it on Tom Brady, Nick.
Because they are haters, okay? No, that's not true. That's not true. It's not true. And by the way, I feel like I'm being attacked from all sides here.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
He can still have great performances. I didn't think he had this type of game left in him. I didn't.
Trolls, haters.
He's still one of the best to find best.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. You are a hater.
Bye-bye now. I'll see y'all in a little while.
Everyone has debated who was, the straw that stirred the drink.
About this narrative that Tom Brady has been done wrong.
Who would get the most between Belichick and Brady? That Tom Brady was the straw that stirred the drink. A very talented quarterback in Cam Newton. He's 2-4.
Did we think the Patriots would fall apart? Fall apart?
Like I said, I'm a realist. And the first thing I said to myself coming home, I said, you keep playing games like that, bro, and it's going to be a permanent change.
You, my dear.
Yeah.
Cliff Kellerman.
Yes. Ravine.
Yeah. How about your boy Brady?
Tom Brady, on the same day that Cam was stinking up Foxborough, Tom Brady was in Tampa putting on the show.
Brady.
Brady deep down the middle for Evans.
Looking for Scotty Miller.
Brady for the first time without Belichick, and he is rolling.
Deep shot. To the end zone for Miller, and it is caught for a touchdown.
In the NFL, passing yards 4th, touchdowns 1st, interceptions fewest, passer rating 4th. This is in October, just top of the league, everything.
The Patriots have gone off the rails, and come hell or high water with Brady, they never did.
This was the first time I ever saw a Bill Belichick team, a Patriots team, play this bad in so many different areas.
The other big factor, of course, Tom Brady not being there. And I'm not talking about Tom Brady on the field. We know on the field he's the GOAT.
Because Brady's there, everybody on that field is saying, we got the GOAT.
Who are you succeeding? Tom Brady. And what are we accustomed to seeing Tom Brady do? Close.
Brady throwing for Evans in his neighborhood. Got it.
And for the very first time, we're seeing a humanized New England Patriot team.
But I'm talking about Tom Brady during the week, upholding the Patriots standard. I'm talking about Tom Brady on game day, yelling at people on the sideline. We haven't seen that.
Is having a losing season the first time Tom Brady is off the team? It's the bigger story.
Brady is the main reason. Belichick certainly gets credit, but Brady's the main reason.
Brady was always the fail-safe. Brady was always the reason why Belichick could attract players to go there.
Bill Belichick allowed Nick Foles to hang 41 on his defense in a Super Bowl.
If you got to give one or two, which one more credit, I'm giving Brady.
I think it's the coaching. I think yesterday's loss has to do with the coaching in New England.
When you see Patriot Way in the dictionary, it's going to have Tom Brady's name next to it.
How about Tom did everything he could to make the team win? He was constantly deferring money so we could get better players.
And he took pay cut after pay cut to get other players in the door. And he felt like, that necessarily perhaps he wasn't respected enough.
I cannot, what he put us on the fucking map, dude. We were a joke.
He felt like, Tom Brady was probably one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback of the past 20 years.
We played in a high school fucking football stadium. We were a joke.
None of those coaches threw any passes. None of those coaches caught any passes. None of those coaches made any tackles. They got guys in the right position because they watch a lot of film and they spend all their time at the facility.
How about he goes to the sunshine, doesn't deal with the winter at state taxes? He gave us 6. I mean, anybody who's upset with that move, you're just a miserable person.
A part of him didn't think Tom could do what Tom is doing currently.
Fournette back to Brady, and he's got an open man in Justin Watson.
Jones at 3.3 a carry. Here's one for Gronk.
Are the Miami Sharks a legendary football team because Tony D'Amato gives great pregame speeches, or because Willie Beeman was his quarterback? I think it's about Willie Beeman.
Tom Brady was named NFC Offensive Player of the Month. Nobody in the history of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has ever been named Offensive Player of the Month.
What that told me is that Tom Brady is actually the conductor. He might have actually been the pilot and Bill Belichick the co-pilot.
That a great player at the quarterback position beats a great head coach every day of the week.
Tom Brady was a master conductor. He was the conduit to the Patriots' success. And he deserves more credit, at least as we look at it right now.
Last in passing yards, last in passing touchdowns, most interceptions, last in passer rating.
Can you share sort of where your emotions were at?
How do you think we felt, Henry?
Those with power don't need to use it because everybody understands it.
If he were treated better by Bill Belichick and not treated as just somebody that, you know what, you're just another player.
You made a mistake letting the guy that got you, that won 6 Super Bowls while he was with you, to let him get away.
If he was treated as such and acknowledged in that fashion, I don't believe that Tom Brady would be departing from the New England Patriots for next season. I don't believe he would have said goodbye.
What we know happened is Bill Belichick put Tom Brady in the greatest position to be successful. That's the #1 job of a coach, is to put the player in a position to be successful.
You know what? You can huff, you can puff, but you ain't blowing nobody's house down this way. I disagree with you, and I'll disagree when we get back from commercial, and we'll elaborate on why.
He's trying to prove he is the greatest, that he's the GOAT, and it's going south. Is a coach who's turning into what I would call a mad genius, where he's sort of going over the edge into what he believes to be his genius, which is very overrated. The dynasty was created and sustained in the largest part by Tom Brady, who slowly but surely, after taking over as a very young player, became the leader, the face of that franchise. A lot of us were still thinking, oh, Bill's a genius and he's on top of everything. He's going to out-strategize you and outwork you and no days off. And I think that's just not how it works. No. And he believed that as he now approaches 70 years of age, he had earned the right to go solo. But you could bring in any old cog on offense, too, and you could put just a bunch of guys out at receiver, and Brady would figure out how to make it work.
He can make every play, and he can do it with anybody.
He fires deep down the right side, looking for Hogan behind the defense. Out the money.
Like, damn.
Let's go!
You got Hogan looking like, he's offensive player of the year.
It's always next man up, and yet the next man up always plays like a Pro Bowler. And I think that the one steady piece through all these years has been number 12 at quarterback.
Because Tom Brady, with a bunch of Edelmans and Amendolas and Hogans, won 6 Super Bowls with 6 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime.
The whole Bill and Tom relationship how come he don't want me?
He goes into the 3rd round and drafts 2 tight ends as if they're going to be Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. Wrong, 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 wrong.
I'm going to say it again.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
All he wanted was Belichick to just throw his arm around him. That's it.
I'm going to say it again.
I cannot. What he put us on the fucking map, dude. We were a joke. We played in a high school fucking football stadium. We were a joke.
Folks, between New England being bad and Tom Brady now being the best player in football, this is the biggest landslide in the history of divorces.
You can stick out your chest all you want to, acting like you right, but you ain't right, Marcus Spears, and I'll deal with you in a second, swag goon.
She upgraded to a superstar. He now lives with his parents.
Brady is playing every bit as well as he ever has. 18 touchdowns, 4 picks. He has 17 touchdowns from a clean pocket this season. No one else has more than 12. No quarterback has thrown more touchdowns into tight windows than he has. And he has a higher passer rating when throwing to wide receivers than he did in 2007, which is the year he rewrote all the records with Randy Moss and Wes Welker. Plus, his team right now is the FPI favorite to win the NFC. His old team, the Patriots, are 2-4. Their quarterbacks have thrown 3 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. They've scored 12 points or fewer in 3 consecutive games. With Brady, they never did that in 2 straight. And they are 2.5 games out of the division lead. That is their largest deficit since 2000, which was the year before Tom Brady became their quarterback.
The 43-year-old Tom Brady leads the whole league in what Pro Football Focus calls big-time throws. He's got 24. He also leads the league in fewest what they call turnover-worthy throws. So you combine big-time plus fewest turnover-worthy, you got a team that's got a shot to win it all.
You've had 6 red zone targets from Tom Brady this season, 6 touchdowns. What's that been like, just establishing that kind of chemistry with Tom?
Well, whenever we get like a one-on-one opportunity in the red area, you know, he likes to try to find me. So, you know, we got one-on-one right there, and he threw a great ball.
And just for you, the success that you guys have been having, you told me earlier this week that it just feels so good to be winning. What is the best part of finally being able to have the success that you want to in this league?
Well, when you come to work every day and you're working hard, you want the result to be W's. And, you know, it's finally paying off, and we just got to keep stacking them.
You guys get Antonio Brown this week. He should be on the field for you this weekend. Tell me how you see AB fitting into your receivers room.
Perfect. He's an unbelievable receiver, one of the best all time, and he's going to help us a lot. You know, hopefully take some double teams off of me and just make plays like he's always have.
Wide receiver Antonio Brown, Buccaneers agreeing on a 1-year deal, according to Adam Schefter.
You know, this is a great signing by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and certainly propelled them and put them in a position where they can compete for the Super Bowl now.
He's scheduled to visit the team's facility tomorrow. Brown currently serving an 8-week suspension for various transgressions under the NFL's personal conduct policy.
Too much miscommunication, too much diva.
AB is a guy that when he respects you, he stays in line.
I like Antonio. He plays as hard as anybody on Sunday, and he practices hard. They just got to make better decisions off the field.
He was one of the best. He's probably the best receiver in the National Football League when he left the NFL.
AB is one of the best receivers who ever lived.
Does Antonio Brown deserve a second chance? Yes, he does. Am I happy that he's going to be back in the league? Yes, I am. Do I think that he's going to play lights out? You damn right I do.
Let's go. Tampa Bay Buccaneers about to go do some damage down there in the NFC South.
Hey, Rob. The Bucs have added, obviously, Antonio Brown to the mix now, and you guys have been described as a Madden all-star cast.
They just added a monster outside on the edges along with the other guys that they have. This is a problem for everybody in the NFL, and they know it.
AB put up better numbers year in and year out than anyone since there was Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and then the most consistent guy putting up those kind of Hall of Fame numbers every year was AB.
Antonio's
going to work as hard as he always has. He's a very hard worker. Everyone knows that. We'll see what we can do when he gets on the field.
And I believe in people getting chances. I can respect Tom Brady for feeling that way, but I have even more respect for him for saying it.
Hey, I told my man Nick on numerous occasions that the GOAT is the GOAT, man.
When you're 39 and most guys would go, I can fire that.
Brady deep down the middle for Evans.
Looking for Scotty Miller.
Play football for more than 7 or 8 years at a high level is so hard.
You know what, guys? I'm going to Tom Brady this thing.
Yeah! Brady, home run ball on the way, and it's hauled in. Brady rifles, touchdown.
This dude is throwing the ball incredibly well.
Here's Evans, and he hauls it in.
Fake it. Oh, you can't do it any better.
I mean, the passes were literally picture perfect, pinpoint passes.
Brady looking back in the end zone, and it's dropped. Brady throws it for Chris Godwin, lunging for that.
Well, Sam, before I came to the New England Patriots in 07, I was in awe of Tom Brady being able to throw the ball with accuracy.
Brady lofting it. Scotty Miller's the target. And here's Brady looking deep for Godwin. And the Packers, Brady protected pass, caught Gronkowski.
Man, Tom put in a lot of work this season.
The handoff, Brady zings it downfield and in stride. He connects.
Yeah, he's definitely a competitor. Just know that.
Tosses, touchdown.
It's in him. I don't care how old he is. He's going to compete.
More times than not, it's probably not going to get called.
This time Miller going deep, and Brady finds him again. Brady, deep shot to the end zone for Miller, and it is caught for a touchdown.
Number one, this guy's one of the toughest cats of all time. He doesn't get rattled. That's who he is.
Brady likes to look his way as Tom steps up, throws, end zone, pass caught.
Is GOAT Tom Brady back?
What you mean back? He never left.
Second time out, here you go, and downfield, Godwin. First down. Looking for Godwin.
Tom Brady's playing phenomenal football. There's no question about it.
Brady pumps and throws. Back shoulder for Evans, and just like that, touchdown, Tampa Bay.
He's vintage Tom Brady for me.
Brady fires underneath. Vaughn. He gets there.
Come on, boys. Nice job, boys. Way to hang in there. Way to go, Vontae. All day, just like that.
Brady lofts it. Gronkowski lofts it. Gronkowski.
What Tom Brady is doing is off the charts, all-time extraordinary.
And these two have now hooked up 91 times.
Got one. You got it. Come on, baby.
Tom Brady is playing better than I thought he would earlier than I thought he would. That can't be disputed.
Flea flicker. Fournette back to Brady. And he's got an open man in Justin Watson. Jones at 3.3 a carry. Here's one for Gronk.
I just think you always look at the age as a negative, and you forget the fact of all the experience he has. How cerebral. He's seen every defense.
Brady with a good pocket to throw from, and he finds Rob Gronkowski.
He played against every defense they have you could throw at him.
Red zone chance, looking for Gronk, and he's got it for a touchdown. Pass time, throws for Gronkowski.
First and goal from the 3, tipped, and Gronk still catches it. Take the running play, Brady timing route. 50-50 ball, it belongs to Gronk.
Looking for Godwin. And it is Holden for the touchdown.
Which team right now is the best team in the NFC?
It's Tampa, Kev.
Brady protected. Pass is caught. That's Evans, first down. With time, he finds Fournette.
Got a lot of weapons, good defense. Here we go. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Brady out route Evans.
A lot of velocity was lacking from their arm talent later in their career, but 43, 20-plus years, I still see Tom Brady making those throws.
Red zone chance, looking for Gronk, and he's got it for a touchdown.
You just said he was the GOAT. You said, no, you told me.
I didn't say it. It's just a fact.
Come on.
Brady, deep shot. To the end zone for Miller, and it is caught for a touchdown.
He became the GOAT because when the lights were the brightest, he showed up.
That's what's fact.
That's my stat, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh, hold on. So let me ask you a question.
I am not speculating about anything.
When it comes to cold-blooded clutchness.
Brady throwing for Evans in his neighborhood. Brady throwing for Evans in his neighborhood. Got it. Touchdown.
According to Pro Football Focus grading, that the fewest turnover-worthy passes thrown this year are by Tom Brady. The fewest turnover-worthy. He has stepped into Jameis's shoes, who led the league in turnovers and said, nope, not on my watch. With no OTAs, with no preseason games, he is already doing that with this team in that town? The sucking ears? Are you kidding me? Right before your very eyes, Tom Brady is exposing Bill Belichick for what he is and always was. He was always a pretty good football coach, very good on defense, but overall just pretty good because for 5 years he was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. And help me out, what happened? Not much. A grand total of 36 wins and 44 losses, and after 5 years got fired in Cleveland. He then went to New England, and the first year he went 5-11, and the second year started off 0-2. And I know for sure from one of the assistant coaches on his staff in 2001, that assistant coach was thinking about talking to a realtor and putting his home on the market in Foxborough because they doubted they would make it through that year before magic happened and the heavens opened, and into their laps fell a 6th-round draft pick named Tom Brady, who took over for Drew Bledsoe off of an unfortunate fortunate. Yeah, thanks to Mo Lewis. And the rest is NFL history.
It is.
So when Tom Brady took over that year in 2001 in week 3, Bill Belichick's record as a head coach to that point was 41-57. That's 16 games under 500. I'm not saying that's exactly who he is now, but that gives you a pretty good idea of what Tom Brady did for him. Because I always tell you, there is one man in sports I do not bet against. And now I told you going into this year, I definitely am not betting against a Tom Brady who's got his mad on for Bill Belichick, who is driven to prove Bill Belichick wrong. And is he ever off to the races?
7 games in, Tom Brady has transformed the Buccaneers franchise. Bill Belichick, have you watched New England? Belichick, the smartest football coach ever, has won 43% of the games in his career when he didn't have Tom Brady starting. We talk about strategy. You know the difference between Facebook and MySpace? It ain't strategy. It's Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, that's your strategy. Stop talking about strategy. Tom Brady in 7 weeks has changed the franchise. Now you got guys like Gronk is retired. Suddenly Gronk's like, maybe I can play another couple years. Antonio Brown had his choice. I'll go play with Tom. That's the power of Tom, the power of LeBron. It's what legends do. And look at arrogant New England. New England, remember that article a couple years ago? One of the assistants said, we could win with a lot of quarterbacks here. Well, you got Cam, and it ain't working. In this divorce, one has remarried and is flourishing, and New England is living in a van down by the river.
The GOAT.
I can't stand you.
Tom Brady made Bill Belichick. And now, because he's on this mad mission to get even with Belichick and prove him wrong, and you don't bet against Tom Brady when he's on a mission, he is exposing Belichick for what he is and always was. If you look at those first 5 years, he was a head coach for the Cleveland Browns. They made the playoffs one time in 5 years, and they finished 36-44 overall, and he got fired. Then he goes to New England. Brady is not the starting quarterback. In the first year with Drew Bledsoe, they go 5-11. In the second year, they start off 0-2 before Bledsoe fatefully took a shot from Mo Lewis in the chest, I guess it was, and he was done for much of the rest of the year. He did come back late in the AFC game. But the point is, Tom Brady took over when Bill Belichick, as a career head coach, was 41-57, and the rest is NFL history. Again, I give Brady at least 75% of the dynastic credit because he took over the franchise in the locker room and in the huddle and on the scoreboard.
I can't stand you.
Tom Brady is a wolf in sheep's clothing because off the field, he doesn't look the part or act the part of this cutthroat killer on the football field who turns into Psycho Tom. You just can't see past all the nerdy, cliched, geeky, lame social media posts from Tom Brady. And you say, what is he doing? That's not the way a franchise quarterback should act. But you can't see through your hatred of Brady to the fourth quarter performances. He's only won 6 Super Bowls with 6 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter overtime. But what is he known for? He's known for second halves. He's known for fourth quarters. He's known for overtimes. He is the comeback king. He is the clutchest player I've ever seen in any sport, and I take it even beyond Michael Jordan because Tom has had so many more chances. You talk about Pavarotti at the Sydney Opera House. This was the Mona Lisa in the second half. I have never seen him better. I've never seen any. This guy,
the Falcons?
He just keeps doing it.
The Falcons.
Shannon, they're dead in the water. They're down 17-0, and this man comes out and says, "No, I got this." And he said it to all his receivers, "Watch this." And if we could see the throws he started making, he just starts throwing lasers. And it started to that man, Antonio Brown, who caught the last bomb to win the game, but he throws one right up the chute to Antonio Brown for a quick 20. And then here he goes to Cameron Brate. That's just a gunshot over the middle. And it's like, wait, who's this? Oh, wait a second. This is vintage Tom Brady to Mike Evans over the middle. That almost scored. And then Fournette got the 1 yard. And all of a sudden you say, wait a second, it's 17-7. But what did the defense do? It's hapless. It's hopeless. And Matt Ryan then goes 75 yards in 7 plays to make it 24-7 with 7:34, mid-third quarter. They're down 17 again. And Brady said, "No, I got this." And here he came again, 26 yards to Mike Evans, and then 24 yards to Mike Evans. And then he hits Chris Godwin a little underneath 4-yard slant for the touchdown. And all of a sudden it's 24-14. And I'm thinking, would you believe in the second half alone, Tom Brady threw for 320 yards? It's the most yards in a second half this whole football season by any quarterback. It was only second to Mahomes' first half against that defense at Tampa.
But let me ask you a question.
Think about that. He threw for 320 in the second half.
I'm thinking about it.
And here came Brady out of halftime. I don't know if he gave a Psycho Tom speech at halftime and said, "That's enough of this, you know what." He came out and said, "Watch this."
The GOAT.
I'll make a prediction. If you know somebody that's 40 and they eat pretty well, don't do a ton of red meat, not a ton. They exercise regularly. They have compatible personalities. They're not combative. They're compatible. They get along with people. They laugh easily. They like to laugh. They're curious. They have a nice social circle, and they have for years. They have pets. They'll age well. Those are good aging traits. Brady's got great aging traits.
You just take for granted. And no, I didn't think a player could play this long and be this good, this consistent, but he has. And 220 wins in an NFL career, you're lucky to get 220 games, Skip. Because if you that's over 15 years. I mean that's what? 10 years at 16 games, that's 160. So another 3 years, so that's about 14 years, Skip, to get just that many games. That's if you win them all. So for him to win 222 games, Skip, wow.
So you're extremely impressed.
look, talking from somebody that played the game and understand how hard it is to win. And to win that many, he won more games than I played. He wanted to finish his career. He wanted to play one place. When that was not on the table, he says, okay, let me go out here and see what else I can find. And he found the perfect situation. A team that had young, talented wide receivers, an up-and-coming defense that if you didn't put them in harm's way 5-6 times a game, they could be really good.
Yep.
And that's what he got.
And a head coach who is fun to play for.
And a coach that's offensive-minded.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
I believe Belichick was just trying to make it extremely difficult for Tom to succeed as the Patriot quarterback. It was getting harder and harder because he was making it harder and harder on Brady.
But Tom's MacGyver. No matter how hard you make it, if you give him something, he'll make something out of it.
That's a good analogy. I would agree.
So it didn't matter.
Yep. Give him just a little safety pin, right?
It doesn't matter.
Give
you
him
look
a
at,
hair
like,
clip.
oh, yeah, they got, I'm watching MacGyver. A lot of people don't remember MacGyver, but you do, Skip. You like, oh, they got him this time. And the next thing you know, he done turned a bathtub into a motorboat, and he getting on the water, and he done made something spectacular.
Brady.
That was Brady.
Thank you. I agree.
That might be his greatest achievement.
You have finally seen the light. I told you that last year. You said, "Oh, stop it."
Skip, I'm looking at. I watched him the other day. I'm like, this dude terrible.
I'm not late to the party. I'm early to the party.
Oh my!
I'm early.
Come
I was calling Brady the GOAT on New York radio in like 2007 before people were calling when people were still on Brett Favre. That's number one.
2007, I was at UConn.
Number one.
You just brought up in 2007. Did you just do that?
I was also early to the he's washed up party. Because in the history of football, no one has played quarterback at this level at this age, ever.
But he's not washed up.
Exactly. In other words.
You were wrong.
In other words.
Yeah, you were wrong, Max.
That's right. Because he did something that no one else has done. For anyone to sit here and say, oh, I knew he was going to be the first to do this 4 or 5 years ago, how could you know that?
But 4 or 5 years ago, he still was balling. Even last year when he had him in the playoffs,
I heard the same
he was still balling.
I heard the same thing about Brett Favre and Peyton Manning. And every other quarterback, like, he could play till he's 50. Brady did it where they didn't. If Tom Brady does it, he will be defying the odds. The fact that he has, he's defied the odds. And everyone who said, no, of course, Tom Brady will do it, were the same people telling me Brett Favre was going to do it and Peyton Manning was going to do it. When you do something exceptional, if you are taking away the odds against it, you're actually taking credit away from the player. The fact that no one had done it until Tom Brady seemed to suggest that he also wouldn't do it. The fact that he's done it adds to his legacy as the greatest of all time, which, by the way, I thought he was the greatest of all time for over 10 years, like 5 years before I made the prediction. But I can't deny the way he's playing. It's not just that he has weapons. He looks really good using them.
Max Kellerman's got a rough morning, no doubt about it. Tom Brady is 43 and threw for 43 touchdowns in the NFL. And he's as hot as any quarterback going into the playoffs. I mean, think about this.
Every single thing that everybody in that building does is amplified because they know they got a guy. Okay, so Tom Brady makes the equipment managers better. Tom Brady makes the athletic trainers better. Tom Brady makes the fourth-string defensive lineman better because that fourth-string defensive lineman knows we got a real fucking chance of winning a Super Bowl at this point. It oozes into everybody else in every other department. That has obviously happened in Tampa. A lot of people saying the defense won that game for him. Well, you know, it just so happens to be coincidence after coincidence after coincidence after coincidence after coincidence. And at some point, the biggest mathematist has to say, what's the fucking X factor? You drop Tom Brady in a building, they win.
Way to go, Tom. You got this.
I can't believe
go, Tom.
But we got
Virtuoso.
Bruce Arians says it's championship or bust. If we don't get the ring, you bring Tom Brady to Tampa Bay to get the ring. This is not a let's build for the future of Tom Brady. What, are you trying to win it when he's 50? No, they're trying to get it right now. And when you ask, okay, does the Washington football team have an opportunity to win this game? Yes, they do. But that's just a puncher's chance. And Max knows when you have a puncher's chance, sometimes you got to put yourself in harm's way. They're going to have to bring pressure. They're going to have to show physicality. They're going to have to be all out and heading and going to get Tom Brady. But that's it.
We talked a lot about the front four of this Washington football team. And in the early parts of that game, they were not getting anywhere close to Tom Brady.
I did think Washington would be able to get a consistent pass rush. And on the first drive, it looked like they were going to. They hit him a couple times. It was like, oh, this is exactly what we needed. But they weren't able to get a consistent pass rush. And even the few times they did get home, Brady was able to follow it up with a very good play.
You know, what I like about what I'm seeing from the Bucs is how Tom Brady is getting everybody involved in the offense. We talked about Antonio Brown and what he was going to bring to the offense, but when you look at the game and look at the targets between Godwin and Evans, 12 and 10 targets. Antonio Brown only had 3 targets yesterday. We showed that touchdown.
My man across the table, Shannon Sharp, does not want to hear this, but I've been trying to tell him all year, Tom Brady is still Tom Brady.
And then this is what Brady does. A 9-play, 55-yard field goal to extend the lead to 5, followed by a 7-play, 69-yard touchdown drive to extend the lead to 12. And then when Heineke punched again, and it's a 5-point game, a 7-play, 58-yard drive to get the lead back to 8.
So when you think about Tom Brady and how he looks in the pocket, how he's moving in the pocket, escaping, and he's elusive, and then how he's throwing and he's following through, there's more zip on his ball, he's more explosive, and I'm telling you, this guy is on a mission.
Tom Brady has never played better than he's playing right now because his pocket feet are so sweet. He moves so well to create time and space in the pocket.
You know, obviously now Tom feeling good about his game and everything looking like it was supposed to look early in the season. I like them moving forward. So this game this week is going to be extremely important.
But I've been saying for a month and a half they wouldn't beat Washington, and Brady would be a big reason why.
Bitch ass nigga.
And Brady didn't make any significant mistakes. He led critical drives in a game that was closer than I think most people thought, and I got to give the man credit for it.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
So this was not his last playoff game ever. Next week will be.
That sounds pretty stupid to me.
You're crazy. Do I think some of the issues they had early in the year are going to come to bite them eventually? I do.
It's a lying piece of shit. Hating ass nigga.
The old man played very, very well in what I would have considered very tough circumstances. And so do I think Tampa can win the Super Bowl? Of course not.
Some people are really fucking stupid. You are a hater. I would have to say this dude is on his way to the next Super Bowl. This is his 14th championship, right? He's on his way there.
I am not speculating about anything.
I'm not looking at his age. We know he's 43. I'm looking at his mentality. There's a reason why this guy is still playing. Something has to be wrong with you to still be playing football at 43. Yo, that nigga's fucking motherfuckers up.
People are like, oh, Nick, are you going to admit you were wrong on Tom Brady? Kind of.
That's some hater shit.
What you mad about?
Kiss my ass, you rotten. I'm not trying to kick a man while he's down, but man, it's not only been a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of years of you bashing Tom Brady and trying to say that this is the last game, the last year that we see Tom Brady.
Because they are haters, okay? But don't never try to act like you didn't do it. You did. You did.
You know, I don't know if the New Orleans Saints can beat this team 3 times in a row because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be ready this time around, and I think they're getting Tom Brady while Tom Brady is in full form.
Now get the fuck out of here.
Oh, people are so mean on the internet, Tom.
I know.
Gronkowski is walking out there. He ain't even running no more.
Tom Brady did this, but
yeah. Is Tom Brady still the best quarterback in the NFL? No, of course not.
It's just time to pass the torch.
There's a but. That's right. You got my number. There's a but.
I love y'all, oh, my goodness.
Tom Brady, 40. You ain't say nothing about his age. Oh.
He's beating the system.
Well, we gonna beat the system.
He's stiff-arming Father Time.
The Brady hate on this show knows no boundaries.
Do you believe that he will pull off this upset in New Orleans?
I don't. I can't stand you. Is if one team beats another twice in the regular season, they're going to do it again in the playoffs.
Y'all were really preying on the downfall of Tom Brady.
Do I think even after yesterday, Tom Brady is one of the 8 or 9 best quarterbacks in football? No, I don't.
What you hate Tom for, man? Of course he's still the GOAT and the GOAT is back.
Is mine gonna have like barbecue chicken, bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bacon? You don't put bacon in your body.
Why not?
The worst thing you could put in your body.
I love hog.
It's fried fat.
I eat everything on the pig except the squeal.
Huh.
Oink.
I find it very difficult to believe that for the third go-round, you get shellacked by the same team in the same season when you are led by Tom Brady. I find that very difficult to stomach. I can't see it. This is Tom Brady that we're talking about here. I just find it unfathomable that there are no adjustments, that there's nothing learned from those annihilations that took place by the hands of the New Orleans Saints. I just find it almost impossible to believe that as good as the Saints are, as better as they have been, and even though anybody and their mother would be justified in picking the Saints for this game, I just find this to be one of those games, Max, that's set up for Brady and the crew to find a way to escape. I certainly expect the game to be close no matter what. I really, really do. I do not expect a blowout this time around. But it would not surprise me at all because of the manner in which the Saints have so manhandled the Bucs in the 2 occasions that a third time is not a charm, that somehow, some way, that 43-year-old Mr. Geriatric himself summons up something.
Are there guys more talented than Tom Brady? Absolutely. Okay. Guys have more gaudy stats than Tom Brady? Absolutely. But when we look back on sports, we always look at moments, how people play in the clutch. Is there a more clutch player in the National Football League than Tom Brady right now? No, there's not a more clutch player in the National Football League. Tom Brady is the most feared player in the National Football League.
The reason Tom Brady, in my opinion, is the greatest leader that we've ever seen in any sport, in American sport, is because he's combined the great leadership intangibles that you talk about with the great on-field performance. Because the way you become a great leader of men is by not only talking the talk, but walking the walk. So when Brady's at the line of scrimmage and he tells you to do something, you know you better do it because he's counting on you, because you know he's going to do his job, and you better be able to do your job and hold up your end of the bargain. And I think that's what's made him such an incredible leader for 2 decades, and he walks right into Tampa Bay. He's out there doing all the things he's asking everybody else to do. So as a great leader, as a boss, the best ones are always the ones that would never ask you to do something that they haven't done or that they're not willing to currently do.
Oh, the pressure of Tom Brady being on the other side, as I predicted, would have an effect on this team. You went out there and others saying, since they beat him the first 2 times, just show up. Show them the jerseys, and it's just going to be a wrap. And I told you, Tom Brady was built for moments just like this.
The one thing I can say about Tom Brady, that he probably does more better than any quarterback that's ever played. Skip, he understands the situation. He says this game is not about 300, 400 yards passing. This game is who can avoid the turnover, who can avoid the costly mistake. And he played it as such. Skip, if you look at this, Mike Evans had 1 catch. AB had 1 catch. Gronk had 1 catch. Leonard Fournette led the team with 5 catches. So instead of putting the ball down the field and putting it in harm's way, let me take these checkdowns. Let me take these easy, because turnovers will make you pay double. Skip, he started at the 41-yard line. That's the 3rd best starting field position of his playoff career. The 3 touchdowns he got, he went 40 yards, and 20 yards.
Everything that they started to do was geared toward winning this game. It was geared toward figuring out why we couldn't beat the Saints. The fact that we didn't protect Tom Brady. How do we protect him better? The fact that defensively we sat back and we were picked apart to the tune of 38 points on our home field. All of those things went into how do we beat the New Orleans Saints? And by pushing toward beating the New Orleans Saints, they became a better football team. And so now you have Tom Brady, who dominated the AFC for 2 decades, having his team 1 game away from being the first team ever to host the Super Bowl in their home stadium. That's greatness. That's Tom Brady. He's one of the greatest to ever do it, to play the position.
Yeah.
But he's more than anything, the greatest organization of all time. I think when you start to talk about organizations, Tom Brady's the greatest organization of all time. Tom Brady's in the conversation as an organization with the Steelers and with the 49ers, and he's better than the Dallas Cowboys. Had he been around or in existence for 100 years, you'd be saying that this was the total success. We'd be talking about the Brady family, who owns this team as the greatest group of ownership in the history of sports. That's who Tom Brady is.
I want to see Tom Brady, okay, take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Super Bowl and play Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. They're trying to go back-to-back, and Tom Brady's trying to do what Joe Montana didn't quite do. He made Kansas City, the Chiefs, a playoff team, his second team, but he didn't win the whole thing. And then he wins 7. He's got 1 more than Jordan.
Tom Brady, I think if he pulls this off, guys, at age 43, will be his 7th Super Bowl championship, considering all that it takes to win in the sport of football. I definitely believe that he would be, this side of Bill Russell, the greatest champion in team sports history. I don't think that there's any way to take that away from him.
Tom is the ultimate version of hard work. I saw his draft. You know how they got to run and do all that?
Yeah.
I saw his tape for the first time a couple months ago, and I couldn't believe that. So you can just tell that he worked hard. He didn't believe all the naysayers. He just continued to persevere. He's a consummate professionalist, and he does the thing the right way.
How much credit, how much influence of having Tom Brady in that Tampa Bay locker room has been, when you look at the success that they've had this year, 11-5, their first time in the playoffs in almost 2 decades, how much credit does Tom Brady deserve?
All of it.
The GOAT.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with Tom Brady as their quarterback, are going to Lambeau Field to play Aaron Rodgers for the NFC Championship.
He's got the Buccaneers, the Buccaneers in the conference championship game. I'm just so tired of it.
Did Todd Bowles have a lot to do with what happened yesterday? Absolutely. But it's the TB12 that's most important to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' success as a whole.
Tom deserves a lot of credit. He deserves all the credit.
If he gets to the Super Bowl, getting by Aaron Rodgers, this time without Belichick, it's an amazing actual enhancement of his already best ever legacy.
It's been 20 years of this. I'm just tired of it.
Well, look. It's the GOAT.
There is one man in sports I do not bet against, especially when the stakes are highest and the pressure is greatest. That man is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
What shot do you give Brady to beat Rodgers?
I give him a fair shot, man. Anything is possible with TB12. Anything can happen, but we got the best of the best, and Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. We couldn't ask for a better situational scenario. And while I do think Tom Brady will be up for the task, not just him, but the defense, the offense in its entirety, the coaching staff, I think they're just as hot right now as the Green Bay Packers. So, while they can lean on that, Green Bay got to take them very seriously, but you got to know that the veteran Tom Brady is walking into the building, and it's not going to be a pushover by any stretch.
The top seed, and Aaron's playing incredible. They got a great defense, so it's going to be a great matchup.
The current forecast for Green Bay next Sunday, 24 degrees and snow.
What a perfect setting for the NFC title game. on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
In the frozen tundra, literally, as we look at 25-degree weather to our house, where there will be 8,000 screaming fans that sound like 80,000. We could talk about the fact that this will be Aaron Rodgers' first NFC Championship game at Lambeau Field for the first time ever in his career as a starter.
What my gut tells me is there's one man in sports I do not bet against, and it's Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
When you think about leadership, what comes to your mind? When you see Patriot Way in the dictionary, it's going to have Tom Brady's name next to it.
Tom Brady, in a very short time, has completely transformed that organization into, it's not just the Patriot way, it's the Brady way. He has imposed his will on this entire organization and entire community to where all of a sudden, I even read Football Outsiders last night, all their metrics have the Buccaneers as by far the best team in the league.
With whether others are going to choose, the volunteer, raise their hands and volunteer. Right? And this is why the leader must provide a clear vision.
This is the first couple of series, Keith. 3rd and 4, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 7, touchdown.
I don't know what proportion of the population are cut out to be leaders, but it's probably not that many.
And people wouldn't have given you blood, sweat, and tears if they didn't believe in you, because you were the alpha, you had the vision, you had the strength, and they wanted your protection.
Tom has the experience. He has the wherewithal. He know how to win games like this. He's been there before, and all he got to do is bring the guys with him. That's an easy task. That's just leadership. But as far as experience going into this game,
what happened when Rodgers met Brady head-to-head, eye-to-eye in Tampa?
I think those are the questions that you're going to have to ask yourself when you play Tampa Bay, because they're not changing. Bruce Arians isn't changing the offense. You got to score like 35 to beat them, and can you get after Tom Brady? Because if you can't get after Tom Brady and you don't keep the ball in front of you on your back end, it is going to be incredibly difficult to beat this Tampa Bay offense because they're as hot as anybody going into the playoffs.
he amplifies everybody and he sets the tone. And, it's no way of getting around that. It's point blank. It's right there in your face. And, that goes a long way, man. It's so paramount when he do that, and guys respond to it. So, it's no substitution for it, man. It's no substitution for it, Shannon. This is what Tom Brady brings to the table.
You look at Brady, it's not just his accuracy, it's not just his experience, it's also his leadership. Because when you galvanize the troops and you maximize the potential around you, a lot of credit needs to be given to that. That's Tom Brady, and that's why he deserves more credit than anybody else on Tampa Bay.
Can the Tampa defense replicate the performance of October 18th at Tampa Bay?
At the end of the day, the Green Bay Packers had plenty of opportunities to go ahead in this game, and they just couldn't get it done. And a big shout out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense.
What led to the touchdown for the Bucs before the half? Rodgers throwing a pick.
This game right here, this weekend, just these quarterbacks, I think Aaron Rodgers is the one with the most to lose out of all of them. When I think about Tom Brady and when you know that you got a steady hand behind center at the quarterback position and you can rely on him, you can still maintain your game plan, maintain your discipline, knowing that you've got this brother that's going to figure out a way.
He's the ultimate fire breather. I mean, Tom Brady elevates. We talked about last week. This is elevate your team, elevate your entire organization, your entire city. And he's going to demand excellence every second of every day.
Having a guy like Scotty Miller sitting on the bench quietly, you need me? All right, cool. I'm ready to rock.
Well, you bring in speedy Scotty Miller.
It's just a great job by Scotty, running a great route.
It would be a 57-yard try from this spot.
When we lined up, you could tell it was going to be a touchdown. And Scotty just ran right by Kane.
8 seconds, 7 seconds. Brady to throw, throws a deep pass downfield. Got Scotty Miller in the open. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Big moments. That's what this game is about. That's what football is about. That's what playoff football is about. Who's going to make the play when the moments matter the most? Now, there's things that we can count on. We can count on Tom Brady balling out. We can count on Mike Evans doing his thing. You can count on that like a first grader counting on his fingers to do math. Sure. Here's some math for you. Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus Antonio Brown equals
Scotty Miller. Oh, my gosh.
With nearly no time remaining and no timeouts for the Buccaneers, blowing past Kevin King and leading 21-10 going into the half.
Scotty Scooter Miller, and Brady puts it right on the spot.
Scotty Miller got behind the defense and for 39 yards gets the touchdown. And what a half by Tom Brady.
Brady has been absolutely impressive here.
It's just soul-crushing to see this happen over and over and over again.
So hard to find the right guy, and when you do, and Tampa did, it just took them, 50 years of their franchise to find a quarterback. They changed the temperature of the franchise in 7 games. Tampa this morning is the best team in the NFL.
He changes the culture of the building. And I think you see that. Last night, last year's Bucks don't win that game, right? It's the little things that don't often show up on the stat sheet that you see him kind of will them. After that Chicago game that you made mention of, Max, where it was way too many mental errors, way too many things they did to shoot themselves and cause themselves all kinds of issues and problems. As they move forward, it's those expectations that go back into the locker room that make you a better team week after week after week.
And here came Brady out of halftime. I don't know if he gave a Psycho Tom speech at halftime and said, "That's enough of this, you know what." He came out and said, "Watch this."
I know everybody right now is raving about his arm on the deep ball, right? Because he's 43 and he's not supposed to be able to make those throws. But ball placement still, to me, when I watch him, it's impeccable. What is it like being in the red zone with a guy like that, where even if you're covered, he still finds a way to slip it past 1-2 defenders and put it where only you can catch it? What's it like being out there with a guy like that?
It's great. Yeah, it's a lot of trust. And, you just go out there and you can just play football. You don't have to think about anything. And wherever the ball's thrown, you just trust.
Because Matt LaFleur kicking a field goal there is the single most disrespectful thing Tom Brady has ever experienced. More than me and Kellerman talking about a cliff, more than anything on Tom versus time, more than any of it. Because what he said when he kicked that field goal is, guess what, GOAT? You're going to go 3 and out. We don't think you can get a single solitary first down.
The reason he's the GOAT is the way that his game rises and the level of his concentration heightens when the playoff starts. Well, that's why he's here, and that's where they are.
This dude is something special.
Well, yeah, he's really good because he's the GOAT.
The GOAT.
I can't stand you. I also know that he is the unquestioned GOAT.
You went your entire career playing against Joe Montana.
Yes.
Who is the GOAT? Is it Joe Montana or is it Tom Brady? Who is the greatest quarterback ever?
Well, now you asking me, who is the greatest quarterback I've ever played against? I'm going to say Joe Montana. But, history is, you look at it, there's 54 Super Bowls? And this is like his 10th. Like he's played in 20% of all Super Bowls. 20% of all Super Bowls this guy has played in. So it's it's nothing I can say. He is the GOAT. He is one of the greatest players this game has ever seen.
But it's not an accident that wherever he goes, success follows, and how he's able to galvanize the troops in such a way that we no longer talk about the Joe Montanas as the greatest in the world, okay? We talk about Tom Brady.
Spectrum of work. You look at what he has done. You look at, every year, no matter what he is given, he plays. And he makes them a winner. He makes them relevant. He is the Michael Jordan of football.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
You know, but I go back to that third down. Aaron Rodgers should have took off and been a hero and dove in the end zone. That's what should have happened.
I felt like I had a chance maybe to run it, but I felt like there was a guy kind of closing on me.
Whoa. Okay. So which is okay?
Wrong.
Trolls, haters.
Yep. Thank you. Case closed.
Tom Brady, man, the GOAT. He is. This is the best big game player, I mean, we've ever seen. And he does it every single year. How many times he would get a below average team to the Super Bowl is it's just crazy. But when I look at it, the thing that's scary to me is it seems like Bruce Arians and Tom Brady are finally on the same page. And that's a scary thing.
I mean, I've seen his work ethic my whole career, and he's had no drop off since the day I've met him. It's unbelievable. And, you know, there's no surprise to me that, you know, he's at this age and still playing at a high level. He's been telling me for quite some time that he's going to be playing at a high level until he stops playing. So it's not a surprise. It's just, you know, I've been seeing it firsthand with my eyes, his work ethic and how he takes care of himself. So I see it happen, and it's just unbelievable.
He had to start completely over after 20 years in this league. All new offense, all new coaching staff.
The GOAT.
I can't stand you.
Where do you go from here, right? Like, I know how hard it is just to lose a big game in a regular season. Now you're talking about losing what is this, your fourth NFC championship game?
There's a lot of unknowns going into this offseason now. I'm going to have to take some time away for sure and clear my head and just kind of see what's going on with everything. But it's pretty tough right now.
Tom Brady, oh my goodness.
We got to the Super Bowl! Oh! Yeah! Super Bowl 55! Got it, fucking LA! Yeah! Super Bowl, baby! Super Bowl! Yeah! Go! Let's go! Super Bowl, baby! Super Bowl! Super Bowl! Yeah, baby! Yeah! Go Bucks! Wow! Let's go, baby! Back to the Super Bowl! Woo! 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 Let's go!
The Bucks are going to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, that will be number 10.
Come on, man! Super Bowl, baby! We got a ball! We got a ball! Super Bowl, let's go!
We're some bad you-know-whats.
We're in the Super Bowl, baby! We're going to the Super Bowl! Hey, 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 hey!
This is a product of Bill Belichick, right? Max is absolutely right. He drafted the offensive weapons that he has now. He is right.
He's not right.
Trolls, haters.
And all the hatred that he has to deal with every single day.
How should we feel about Brady at this point? Do you think he's getting too much credit for the team's success?
Yeah, he is.
You're pathetic.
Is Brady the top 3 MVP candidate?
Top 3? No, of course not.
I'm a smart moron. Be nice. Be nice.
Is Brady the greatest free agent signing ever?
No. Trolls, haters.
He wins 6 Super Bowls. He wins MVP. He has an amazing family. And people just find a way, Nick, and I'm not going to name any names. They find a way to crush him.
Here's the problem. You talked about his velocity. You said it lacked. You talked about his timing. You talked about his accuracy. You said he doesn't have it anymore. You said a cliff, then you corrected it by bringing up a ravine. I didn't even know what the hell a ravine was.
I'm not one to sound the alarm, but sound the alarm, Shannon.
What the fuck are they talking about?
The problem is he can't carry you anymore.
I can't stand you. So, no, I don't think Belichick made a mistake. And I don't think by the end of the season it'll look like a mistake.
Bitch ass nigga.
No way, no how. Tom Brady is washed. Tom Brady is washed. Tom Brady is washed.
He will take the torch. I'm saying Packers in the Super Bowl.
You don't get better as you get older. And I'm talking about a 43-year-old quarterback.
Hating ass nigga.
That team, as I said, will not, NOT, make the playoffs.
If you think Tom Brady could have survived that onslaught that Mahomes ran the gauntlet through yesterday, you're sadly mistaken.
It's going to be a very exciting matchup, but I think this is the end of the road for Tom. Tom is terrific, Tom.
That's some hater shit.
Jesus Christ.
And then after that, Jesus Christ. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I can't stand you.
Now get the fuck out of here.
We now return to your regular programming.
Are you willing to admit, right here on First Take on national television, you were completely wrong about Tom Brady?
Just admit that you was wrong. Never.
You were wrong.
In other words,
you were wrong,
Max. That's right.
Tom Brady has had a full Hall of Fame career in the time since I made the Cliff prediction.
I say he's had a full Hall of Fame career since I made the Cliff prediction. I just got to give it up.
Can I say hi to my son?
Yeah, for all you Brady haters, or everybody talking about Brady's washed up, Brady's this, Brady that. No, man. The man can still play.
I'm the Cliff. That's right. And he proved me wrong.
Hey, never count the GOAT. TB12 out. Love you, kiddo. How about that?
Good job.
Going to the Super Bowl, baby. What do you think?
For anybody who thought Tom Brady wasn't the greatest ever, that chapter is closed. That conversation is over.
This takes it to a whole nother stratosphere. We start talking greatest player, that's it. We can stop it.
I love you, man. Way to go. I'll see you. I'll call you a little bit later.
All right, I love you.
All right. Love you, kiddo.
More conference championship appearances than 26 National Football League franchises.
This is what I look at. Playoff records. Tom Brady now has 33 wins in his career.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers, you just sort of run out of ways to describe them, but let me give you this. This will be the 4th time Brady has started the Super Bowl since turning 39 years old.
Brady's been in 18% of the Super Bowls, and 35 of them were played before he ever played in one of them.
Head scratching to me. I mean, it's like, for real? Again?
Congratulations, Tom Brady.
I would have to say he's the best at answering the challenge there ever was, yes.
In my lifetime, I would see a guy go to 10 Super Bowls, especially at the quarterback spot, right? It should be illegal.
So I've not seen anybody have that many big games and answer the challenge as well as he has.
I mean, guys only go 3, maybe 2 times, but at 10?
With huge games than anyone I could recollect, and he stepped up every time.
Well, we get to enjoy this for a little bit and then get ready to go against whoever we play. It's going to be a great game.
Man, all I gotta say is, fuck Tom Brady!
Is the best.
I don't care how stacked the Bucs were. He just did it. I stand down. He is the GOAT,
He's the GOAT.
He led that team, and it started right from go, and they held on. Tom Brady is going back to the Super Bowl, and it's where he belongs.
Back to the Super Bowl for Brady, baby. The Patriots, what were you thinking about?
Super Bowl, the Bucks, baby. Hey, the BBDI said today, right? We go here, let's go back to my timeline. The Vital Ball Dome Index said Bucks 34, Packers 27. Sid picked the game with the Saints. This Bucks team is for real, baby, and we will win the Super Bowl.
The time has finally arrived. The legend of all legends, still thirsting for another title.
This going to be, it's the greatest gift any organization can give its fan base. We will win a Super Bowl at home.
I'm an underdog, man. I always go for the underdog, and I think that the Bucks here are the biggest, baddest underdogs I have ever seen. And, if they don't win tonight, I'm gonna lose my house and my car.
If Tom Brady manages to pull this off on Sunday night, if he can beat Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and Tyrann Mathieu and Chris Jones and the rest of the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, if he can do it at age 43, I don't know how you can argue that Tom Brady is not the greatest team sports champion in modern history. Would have 7 rings to Jordan's 6. He'd have won number 7 at age 43. It's no accident that wherever Tom Brady goes, success follows.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. to do it once more, to do what he has always done in Super Bowl games.
I remember when I got a couple of homies hit me up, calling me or whatever, like, "Hey, Vontae, boy, y'all might get Tom Brady." I'm like, "Man, Tom Brady ain't leaving New England, man. Y'all tripping."
Right.
He's stamped over there. That ain't going down no time soon. And then like I woke up the next morning and I seen it across the ticker. I'm like, nah, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. And then, they finally announced it. It was like, Tom Brady has finalized a deal to come to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was like, shit. My dream's about to come true now.
I believe that the defense will swarm on him. I believe both those I believe the two inside rushers. I believe Vita Vea and Sue will have their impact, blowing up the pocket from the inside out. And I believe he won't be able to escape as usual because those two guys can run on the flanks. And I believe they'll mix in a blitz here or there, but mostly they're going to play cover 3. I think they're just going to play safe defense where you can't get behind us.
A lot of people don't understand Tom Brady, and I don't understand why people say they hate him, you know, when you don't know a guy. And when you finally get to be around him and on the same team with him and understand his resume and why he has it and all his rituals and what he does to build his team, build his players around him, to have confidence in him and in the game plan, it's crazy. You know, he gave us a speech before the game. It's about honor. You know, I ain't gonna go into details about it, but it was deep. You know, I never felt that deep, or my feelings towards the word honor until he put it in a sentence that made everybody open their eyes and realize that we're gonna win this game.
I'll tell you why people hate Tom Brady. Because they ain't Tom Brady. That's why they hate him. Because they're not him. That's why. You understand? They're tired of him whipping their butt. They're tired. I mean, he got everything. He looks great. Beautiful family. Beautiful organization. 6, now 7 rings. They're not him. That's what it is. It's jealousy and envy. Plain damn simple.
One man in sports you do not bet against. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
You know, big-time players making big-time plays.
Yeah!
We fucking did it, baby!
Oh, shit! Oh!
Let's go! How does it feel to lose the Super Bowl? Now you know what I went through last year. I hate you guys so much.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves right now. Y'all average about 30 points a game throughout the regular season, went 14-2, and in the Super Bowl, y'all only scored 9 points. 9 points.
Y'all only scored 2 field goals. What you doing, man? Y'all got to do better, man. It's a Super Bowl.
You know, they real gimmicky on offense, and man, we don't play like that, man. We like smash mouth football. We like coming down here, getting in them trenches.
Well, what happened? Patrick Mahomes kept getting sacked.
I don't care what kind of numbers Mahomes puts up from here on out. He'll always have a Super Bowl loss to Tom Brady on his resume. That's never coming off.
In the wake of his 7th Super Bowl title, further cementing his legacy as the greatest of all time.
Tom Brady, you are the man. You are the GOAT.
There's this alter ego that I call Psycho Tom, and it comes out.
Let's go!
Play with a franchise, and then the franchise kind of, oh, you're old, bye.
But Robert Kraft has to be shaking his head quietly. He'll never say so publicly, and saying, yeah, what are we thinking?
One of the greatest champions this sport has ever known, in Bill Belichick, ignored the champion and leader that he had in the end in Tom Brady.
Listen to him now. Listen to him imploring that team.
And he says, okay, you don't want to take care of me after all I did for the city? Watch this. Go to another city, promise him a Super Bowl, and delivers.
For the 7th time.
God, New England made a huge, huge mistake.
Way to go.
He has made the gap between him and second place so incomprehensibly large, it's hard to fathom it ever being broken.
He's the GOAT.
That he the GOAT.
Hands down, he's the GOAT.
It's like we're watching the same movie over and over again.
And it gets better every time?
And it gets better. And it features one Tom Brady.
AB!
Has anyone ever saw him as humbled as he was yesterday in expressing his gratitude to Tom Brady? Yeah. I mean, think about that for a second. Antonio Brown. Yep.
Please, take this guy off my screen. I'm done with you, man.
And he goes from that to being a champion with his head down, holding back tears because of how grateful he is to Tom Brady.
Well, it's been a tremendous honor working with Tom, man. He's a legend. He's a winner. He's a good leader. It's a blessing to play this game. Being a year out without football made me appreciate it more, helped me get the right perspective, helped me put some things into perspective. And I had to just take a step back, appreciate things with the right perspective. And I'm just grateful to be at this point right here and to finally be a champion. We did it.
Hey, man, congratulations on winning the Super Bowl.
Thank you. God is the greatest. But I'm super grateful, and man, I couldn't write a better story. God is the author and perfecter of my faith, and to be in this position, man, I just gotta thank him. We did it, baby. I really thank God, man. It's just a real moment. I haven't really sunk in because all the hard work and the intangibles that go with it. To get to this point and be able to finish, man, I'm just super grateful. Appreciation with the right perspective. Well, I've been through a lot, man, and I wouldn't change it for anything. Appreciation, perspective, and gratitude, man. God's the greatest. I mean, Tom is a great guy, man. He's been in my corner since day one. A big brother to me who always believed in me, took me under his wing.
Since he got here, he's just done everything the right way. So impressed by him, proud of him.
Never give up on life. Love you, baby. One of the best human beings I know, even a greater football player.
It takes a lot of people for us to get to this point. And, we all have great support systems in place. And I think everyone should be celebrating him tonight.
I can't speak enough on what he's meant to me. This moment, everything I've been through.
Yo, Gotti, what's good, man? What up, boy? You know we've been doing this shit for a long time, nigga. Deep in the game. Sometimes we just gotta speak from the heart, you know what I mean? From the heart. All the hustlers, A-Mafia, niggas who get money. Talk to these niggas.
Let me talk to the streets real quick, nigga. Yeah. Yup. Fuck it. I'm just hoping that it's my year. But I'm stuck in the ghetto where niggas die here. Bahamas resorts, I can't even fly there. But I'm on the block hustling, trying to buy gear. I'm losing close friends. Some dead, some locked up. I'm feeling like I got no friends. And the ones I do got, treat them like brothers. Get locked, look out for each other like brothers. Serving niggas on the block I used to hustle with. This drug dealing, do it all for the love of it. These snitch niggas coming home I ain't fucking with. Do it for my day one niggas I really struggle with. Do it for my family, my day one rap crew. Middle finger goes to all you niggas trying to act new. Real niggas coming home, Gator bring a stack through. Violate Gator family, we getting at you. Y'all kicking tour stories with the batteries included. Everything is real, me and my niggas been through it. A hustler, get bad coke, know how to move it. Y'all niggas coming off the porch late, trying to do it. Wish I could copyright the street lights so I could own it. I'm like 2 Chainz and me, waiting on my moment.
43 years old, 7 Super Bowl victories now, more than any franchise. That's unbelievable. When he went to New England, they were a joke. They weren't the biggest joke of all time, but they were a joke. Even with Bill Belichick, 5-13 with an all-pro quarterback or Pro Bowl quarterback in Drew Bledsoe when Brady took over. They weren't anything special. They weren't rolling. They weren't on the come up. They weren't a team of the future. They were a joke. They also ran a doormat. And Tom Brady immediately made them a dynasty. No more trips to Mexico or abandoned trips to Mexico. No more going back to 2012 when you famously said that Tom Brady was done winning Super Bowls or getting the Super Bowls, let alone winning them. None of that. None of that. It's all gone. I'm erasing it. If you will admit, you will concede, finally, as the last person on planet Earth to deny that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, Rob Parker, I'm giving you the chance to admit that Tom Brady is the GOAT.
Dogs, can you hear me, dogs? Listen to me, Anthony. I got your head in a fucking vice. I'm gonna squash your fucking head like a grapefruit.
I have one response for you.
Don't make me have to do this, please. Come on. Don't make me be a bad guy. Come on.
No way, no how.
Fuck you. This motherfucker. You believe this? 2 fucking days and nights. Fuck me. Fuck me, you motherfucker. You shit-kicking, stinky horse-smelling motherfucker, you. You're fucking warned. Don't ever go over my fucking head again. You motherfucker, you. You motherfucker, you. Let's go!
The GOAT.
Max, do you feel like this was the best playoff run ever by a quarterback when we consider all the circumstances?
It would be if there was no such thing as Eli Manning.
You'll be listening to some guy, you say, this guy is fucking stupid.
The man is at it again.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
A 43-year-old quarterback just led a team to a Super Bowl. A quarterback that you said sucked.
God damn, there's a lot of stupid bastards walking around.
Calm down, Marcus. You have lost it. Max Kellerman, you have lost your mind.
Joe, this is why people get banned from the internet.
Max, you said nobody wants to go to Lambeau, and nobody's going to beat Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau.
Then there are some people, they're not stupid, they're full of shit.
That is why the Green Bay Packers are going to the Super Bowl. That was Max Kellerman. He went to Lambeau. Again, no offseason, 43, global pandemic, and beat Aaron Rodgers. How in the world, bro, can you sit on TV and say what you just said?
I'm a smart moron.
Max, this is the most impressive Super Bowl win in the history of the NFL, bro.
Well, he's fairly intelligent. He's full of shit.
One man in sports you do not bet against. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
I mean, Tom Brady did it. It is just
it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
He did it.
21 touchdown passes in the Super Bowl. Over 3,000 yards in the Super Bowl. 3,000 yards used to be.
These have 2 seasons of postseason. Look, it's nutty. It's nutty, and I said it at the opening. This is football. 50 guys. You don't just show up and, like basketball, LeBron and another guy can go and win championships. Golf, you can go take care of it yourself. Football, no. It takes a lot of people, and that's what Tom Brady does. He brings everybody with him.
Who feels worse today, Bill Belichick or Robert Kraft?
Bill Belichick. And he should.
My coach didn't want me anymore.
Tom Brady is a 7-time champion.
Father Time is undefeated? Maybe he's not.
And it took him to get out of New England to finally have a laugher.
Boomer, with 7 championships, you talk about the greatest athletes of all time. Who are we going to say? Jordan, Woods, Ali, name them. They're all guys that were five guys on a team, individual sports. This is football. It's 50 guys, 32 teams. The odds of doing this are astronomical. More than you can describe to anyone else that we're talking. Any other name you want to give me, this feat to go to this many Super Bowls and in football, to me, is unique, different, and something that should be appreciated, like in our generation and our lives and anything we've ever seen. He planned to get to Tampa, but wherever he was getting out of New England 4 years ago. Like, he's a guy that thinks about this years in advance, and that's why he can pull it off. He can come down. And the thing that's interesting about it to me is you come down to a team that they don't know him. They got helicopters over his house when he arrives in town. He's the biggest. He's married to Giselle. He's been 6-time Super Bowl champ. How does he hold people close to him? How does he get his teammates to consistently fight for him and bleed with him? There's 15 books about leadership that need to be written about Tom Brady and how he does this.
He does it because he ingratiates himself with his teammates.
He's vulnerable. He's honest.
He shows that he's just like them. He puts his pants on one leg at a time. He'll joke with them. He'll laugh with them. He'll be personable with them. And now as a teammate, when I see that, it doesn't matter who you are in lore. You're just a football player to me, baby, and you're trying to help me win. That's how he does it.
And you know what? There was one little secret that got let out tonight also.
He's beaten Peyton. He made the draft look stupid. He's set all the aging records. So now I do buy it is, okay, now I'm going to prove it was more me than Bill. 100% I believe it.
Yeah. After beating the Chiefs last night, Tom Brady turned to Rob Gronkowski during the celebration and said, "This is what we do." No, this is what Tom Brady does and no one else. At age 43, he is not only rewriting the record books, he's rewriting all that we know about playing football at the highest level in your 40s. Father Time is right now taking notes.
I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Tom Brady is officially the GOAT.
He the GOAT. Hands down, he's the GOAT.
Tom Brady proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that it wasn't all about Bill Belichick, that it wasn't all about the Patriot way, that me, Tom Brady, I had a ton to do with the success in New England, and I'll show you how. I'll go to a new place, I won't have an offseason, I'll change the team, I'll change the roster, and I'll change their fortunes. Tom Brady is the greatest player in team sports.
And I am just smiling ear to ear. Smiling ear to ear. I can't remember the last time I was this happy. What a Sunday I just had.
Woo! Tom Brady won his 7th fucking Super Bowl. Woo! Brady to Gronk twice.
At what point are we going to maybe consider changing the name of the trophy from the Lombardi to the Brady? Yeah, I know, hey-oh, kind of cheesy and all, and even sacrilegious. But the thing is, that trophy now is way more synonymous with Brady than it is with Lombardi. Brady has won it more times, way more times, than old Vincent. Hell, Brady alone has won that trophy more times than any other franchise. Last night, Tom Brady put that thing so far out of reach, you can't even see it now. Tom Brady is the GOAT. Brady is the GOAT. Dude is like the goatiest goat. He's got Joe Montana's rings plus Troy Aikman's rings. Yeah, I mean, do you understand how utterly insane that is? Let me put it to you another way. He's got John Elway's rings, plus Peyton Manning's rings, plus Roger Staubach's rings, plus Brett Favre's ring, and Dan Marino's rings. And I'm not running Marino onto the bus. I'm not doing that to take a shot at Dan. It's to prove that you can be an absolutely amazing player and still not win a ring. And yet this guy's got 7 and counting. That might be the most insane part of this whole thing, because only a dope would think that Brady does not have a shot at another. There's no reason to think that it ends with 7. Why not 8? Hell, why not 9? But when it comes to the debate over who was more responsible and who needed whom more, Tom Brady was winning another title last night, while Belichick was at home, rocking his sleeveless hoodie and muttering to himself. The guy that he didn't want to bring back just went to Florida and won a damn Super Bowl in his first year. And the other guy, the big lug who left the entire sport to get away from Belichick, was back and played a major role in that win. They took one of the biggest swings ever, and they crushed it in 1 year in a pandemic. And they were all in for this year, and it paid off. No, he didn't do it all by himself. And yes, the defense picked him up at times in this run. But the guy did just beat Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes in 3 straight games. And 2 of them were on the road. He completely changed the culture of the Buccaneers. How many guys can you say that about? How many players can you say that about? I mean, say what you want about this guy. You can call him a dork. You can call him a nerd. Man, my man is some unbelievable leader, an amazing leader with an incredible work ethic, and it is infectious, it is contagious, and it is organization changing. So yeah, maybe that stuff about him texting his teammates every day last week and telling them, quote, "We will win." Maybe that stuff actually worked. Anybody else does that, and it's hack as hell. But if the guy with 6 rings does it, you believe him. Especially when he goes out and he does it. You have to tip your cap. Not only am I tipping my cap, I'm all in. In fact, I'm all in with this guy now.
Let me tell you what I learned by watching Tom Brady yesterday.
That you never pick against Tom Brady. I went out and I picked against him. So hear me now. I am never picking against that old dude ever again.
Stephen A., you got anything else, or are you good?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
You're not talking to Max anymore about this?
No.
I don't really have anything to say.
Well, Molly, I guess you could take it away because Max has conceded.
Director?
Here it is.
I was.
Let's go, Max.
All right, there we go. Max, just say it. Just look into the camera. Say,
Molly
I
was wrong.
No, say, I was wrong. Tom Brady never fell off a cliff. Please do it.
I was wrong. Tom Brady never fell off a cliff.
Good job. Now you can have your snack and enjoy recess. Good job, Max. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. The studio's giving you a round of applause.
That's all I asked.
Good job,
About
Max.
time. I'm the winner again. Yay for me.
Good job, Max. You owned it.
Would you say that majority of us think that Tom Brady's the GOAT? Yes or no?
Yes.
He's the GOAT.
Father Time is undefeated? Maybe he's not.
How many more rings might Brady still win?
The GOAT.
I mean, Jesus Christ. The amount of Brady bashers throughout the guy's fucking career, I've just never seen anything like it. And this is the one I think that he needed that'll just fight. It'll even shut Jim Irsay up, I think. What the fuck are they going to say now? The guy beat Drew Brees in New Orleans, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in fucking Lambeau, and then he beat the next greatest quarterback ever, Patrick Mahomes. Fucking unbelievable. Unbelievable.
We did it. We did it. We did it.